Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about Apollos, Aquila, and Priscilla. Meanwhile, a certain Jew named Apollos arrived in Ephesus. He was a native of Alexandria and was well educated and effective in his use of scriptures. He'd been instructed in the way of the Lord and spoke as one stirred up in his spirit. He taught accurately the things about Jesus, even though he was only aware of the baptism John proclaimed and practiced. He began speaking with confidence in the synagogue. When Priscilla and Aquila heard him, they received him into their circle of friends and explained to him God's way more accurately. When he wanted to travel to Achaia, the brothers and sisters encouraged him and wrote to the disciples so they would open their homes to him. Once he arrived, he was a great help to those who came to believe through grace. He would vigorously defeat Jewish arguments in public debate, using the scriptures to prove that Jesus was the Christ. So I want to focus here on this scene where Priscilla and Aquila take Apollos and teach him more accurately, because she can't do that, right? She can't teach this grown Christian man that he's wrong. Isn't she usurping his authority? Shouldn't Priscilla just go home and let her husband take care of it? I mean, I know he was involved in it, but her name is listed first, and that's for a reason. Well, neither her husband Aquila or Apollos himself seem to take much issue with her teaching. Aquila seems to see their marriage as a partnership, not a hierarchy. And so this shows us that the early church was not as patriarchal as we've actually let the church become. In the New Testament, women pray and prophesy and host churches. They are leaders and workers. Why? Because they're following the gifting of the Holy Spirit. Priscilla was a gifted teacher, so she taught. And later, Philip's daughters had the gift of prophecy, so they prophesy. It's actually just that simple, and it never should be more complicated than that. And to his credit, Apollos is willing to listen. I'm really curious how someone could know so much about Jesus, but also not know about baptism. So maybe some of these ideas that we take for granted were not as ubiquitous as it seems. But really, it's a sign of his character that someone who is obviously well educated and a powerful public speaker is willing to be corrected by anyone, let alone a woman in this time. And so when it comes to us, are we willing to listen? Can we listen to the Spirit leading us into deeper truth, no matter who that truth actually comes from?